Hello, Facebook fans and YouTube fans of DX Engineering. It is finally Friday afternoon here in the Eastern time zone of the USA. It is time for the weekend special. Let's get the weekend started. It's 21 Zulu on January 14th of 2022. And we think that Christmas now is in the past, and we are moving forward in January with lots of exciting things going on. And I am very thrilled to have today two great guests. It's Otis, November Papa 4 Golf, and Dave, Whiskey Delta 5, Charlie Oscar Victor. And these guys, along with more guys, are going to Bouvet. And it's one of the worst places on earth. They're going to go to Bouvet. They're going to be on a ship, and they're going to get sick on this ship. And then when they get to the island and they're starting to feel better, they're going to work like crazy to set up a ham radio station on the worst place on earth. And then they're going to stay up for, 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to work like crazy to take the stuff down and put it back on the ship. And then they're going to get on the ship and go back, and they're going to get sick again. And it sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
Welcome to both Otis and Dave. And Otis, why don't you tell us what's going on with Bouvet? And you're so glad that you're on the team.
Yes, thank you, Timmy. It's good to see you again, and glad to be here with Dave. I mean, it's one of those things that you really can't explain. When you try to explain to somebody what ham radio is to a non-ham, they think like, what are you doing? And then this is sort of like taking that to the extreme. So, just like you said, a bunch of guys got together and we're going to work on this field trip. And, it's high up there, and we're really looking forward. It's a lot of work that's been going on and things that we're doing. So I wanted to share some of that info with you, if I may here. Let me, yes, I have a little PowerPoint. Let me just make sure.
Okay. And Katie, make sure we're full screen.
Yeah, Katie's got to make sure I make it. I don't know. Are you? And click here, and I gotta find another. Sorry about that. So let's try that. Kate, is that working on or?
Not up yet, but sometimes it takes just a few seconds to click in. And as soon as I see it, I'll let you know, Otis.
Okay, so sharing that. And are you seeing it right now?
There we go.
Excellent. All right. Excellent. Thank you very much, Timmy, and thank you for the introduction. I'm NP4G Otis. I'm a ham radio guy for a couple of times. I know Tim from being there a couple of times, and I must say, Tim, that we used to sleeping at the K3LR Hilton, but this time we're going to try the Bouvet Hilton for a change. So we'll see how that goes. So we're planning an expedition to the island of Bouvet and later this year. But essentially, it's the most remote place in the world. We're basically about 8,000 miles from New York, 8,000 miles out of Europe, and about 10,000 miles out of JA. Essentially, the closest piece of land would be Antarctica. And the funny thing about this is there's more people that have actually been to space than people that have been to the island. So consider how remote it is and how difficult it is to get to. It's part of the Norwegian territories. Was discovered by the French back in 1739. Back in 1927, that's when Norwegians claimed the island. Essentially, it's a big block of ice. 93% it's covered by snow and ice. It averages about 300 storms a year, winds sometimes reaching over 100 miles an hour. So I guess this is where my hurricane training comes in handy. We got volcano shaped. It's about 780 meters at the tip. Essentially, this half size of Manhattan. And along with the Peter I Island, Jan Mayen, and Svalbard, that's all the Norwegian overseas territories. So no humans, a lot of penguins, and a lot of sea lions there too. We're going to be boarding on this very nice ship here, the Marama. It's about 100-foot long boat. This boat is actually made of aluminum. It's specially designed to be used for expeditions to the Antarctic and to the Arctic. That's essentially where the ship is right now, as it's doing its normal tours in the Argentina area. So we're gonna be doing a trip out of Falkland Islands or Ushuaia, Argentina. It still hasn't been decided yet, but it should be coming up pretty soon. Essentially, it's gonna be like you said, Tim, 2 weeks all the way to get there, set up camp, do our thing, and then about 2 more weeks to come back and it's a quick way to lose some weight, I guess. But we got our docs that will take good care of us. I'm really looking forward to it. Once we get to the island, the point where we're going to be, Cap Phi, it's on the southern east side of the island, right where the arrow is. And when they were researching, see where we could actually, get to the island. The other area, it's on the northwest. That's where the old research station used to be. That's long gone now. But when we come, starting with the Norwegian Polar Institute to determine what would be a good, what could be a potential landing site to Bouvet, it was clear that Cap Phi would be the place out of everywhere. So this is essentially what it looks like. You could see on the lower right side, there's a beach there, a part of the glacier, and then on the upper left, that hill, the mountain, that's essentially where we're going to be setting camp. Here you can see our neighbors. You see a bunch of penguins and stuff down there. So essentially, what we're going to attempt is to get as close as we can with the ship and then use our Zodiacs to be able to get into the beach. And then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to have some equipment attached to that wall on the middle of the picture. We're going to be putting a levee system and a motor winch and stuff like that to be able to climb up the hill, get our equipment up there, and then set up our antennas and things. So this is some of the neighbors that were pictured there when the Polar Institute information that they have. And, one of them is our QRM guy right down there. QRZ 5 to 100 up. I think these are going to be like pretty big pileups. So I don't think we'll get up to 100, but, we're really excited about, the thrills. We're going to have a blast and our, the biggest pileups in our history, essentially, from when we get there. So right up there, you could see where the tents are, towers. We're going to be using 3 tents for the suites at the Bouvet Hilton, and then our antennas and equipment and everything that we're going to be using. It's planned, being designed, and able to sustain ourselves up there for about 2 weeks or so, and then we'll be able to come down and pack and then make it all the way down there. So it's a big endeavor. I mean, we're looking at a budget about $650,000. That's what we need. Each operator is putting about 20 grand. We're really thankful for the Northern California DX Foundation. They're giving us $100,000 sponsorship. Also, Indexa is giving their largest donation ever for $15,000. And most of the expenses, covers basically the ship, which is the major expense. We have a lot of equipment sponsors. DX Engineering, thank you, Tim. Part of the team. Innov Antennas for Oscar 3 Alpha. We also have expert amps that we're going to be using, and as the more equipment selection keeps going on, and we're proving and making stuff. So essentially, we're looking for people that can help us. Thank you to all the individuals that are supporting us, all the clubs, but we still need a lot of help, and especially Tim. With you at DX Engineering, and I'm going to let Dave talk about it for a second. So it's a team of 13 operators. There's one more team member who's going to be joining us pretty soon. It's going to be announced. Our goal would be to have 200,000 contacts. Try to give it out to as many people as you can. We're going to be doing this 24-hour. We're going to have at least 5 FT8 stations on the air the whole time. 5 stations, CW, phone, RTTY, and then this is, if we can do it, it's going to be the record for the most QSOs on an expedition. So, but this, we can't really do it by ourselves. I mean, we thank all the hands of the people that are supporting us, especially DX Engineering, Tim, and all your team. You're sending us very generous donations, and Dave, I know Dave's our low band guy, and he's got your stuff. And I don't know, Dave, tell us a little bit about what DX Engineering is prepping for us.
Well, Tim's always come through for us, and it's so valuable. I mean, when we went to VP8 STI, I mean, he was there behind us, and that's what, there's a lot that goes behind these Dxpeditions to make them happen, And without good sponsorship from our vendors and our local hams and our clubs, we can't do these kind of things. But I tell you, what I'm going to be trying to do is build a top loaded a vertical for 160 meters out of the ATK 65A. It's a 65-foot aluminum antenna kit, and we're going to build a top loading array on top, and then we're going to have 40 radials on this vertical. We're on a thin sliver of land on Cape Fee, and so some of the radios are going to hang over the cliff, and some we're going to throw out over the ice. But there's a lot of crevices on the glacier, and for safety reasons, we don't want to be out on the ice. But we're going to try to utilize some of that area anyway for our radios, and try to put this antenna up. And a little story. Back in 2014, one night, unexpectedly, I was on 160 and trying to work a new country, and lo and behold, I hear Alpha 7 stroke Mike 0 Fox Germany Alpha, and I worked this guy. It was an all-time new one for me, and come to find out, he had set up an ATK 65A on the beach there in Qatar. And I checked the distance, and that's about 8,200 miles between us. I was his furthest contact west in the United States. So, as thrilling as it was for me to work a new one, it's just as thrilling for the other side to say, wow, I made it all the way to the west, Western USA. But Dave, K3LR was the fellow that I worked, and he has since sent me some information on how he built this vertical. And I've got a couple of local guys here that are very experienced, and we're going to put this together and try to build a falling derrick for it as well, so we can raise it relatively easily once we get on Bouvet. But I'm real excited about this antenna, and it's going to be just out of this world to work the pileups and work, all the guys that we know in North America, Europe, all over the world. It's going to be a challenge for us to do that. So, I just want everyone to know that, if we had to go out and buy all this equipment and we didn't have any sponsors, we couldn't afford to do this. I mean, as it is, we put in quite a bit of money, and we bring some of our own gear as well, and we make a lot of sacrifices to go to these rare remote places to put them on the air, and we've been in a dry spell for 3 years now. We haven't had any good Dxpedition, so let's hope that this one comes through next November, and we can make 200,000 plus Qs. We're going to have 12 stations, I believe, on the air. We're going to try to man them, 24/7 as the bands will allow us to operate. But that's part of the plan, and that's what I'm going to be working on with the low band with the low band team.
Well, Dave, we know you are a low band expert, and you've put in a lot of hours and a lot of hard work at a lot of Dxpeditions, and we have complete faith in you with the ATK 65, and of course Mike 0 Fox Alpha Dave K3LR was here in this shack back in November. I mean, he is a frequent operator here, and one of the best CW operators you're ever going to come across, and he loves to share information, and that's the spirit of ham radio, and Otis has been here many times, and I met Otis at Hamvention and Contest University, and we've had a great relationship, and so those relationships is what's going to propel you guys to do something that is extraordinary by going to one of the most difficult places. And I do want to recognize some of our viewers here because that's what we do on Friday. And several of the operators that are going with you to Bouvet are in the chat room as well. And Whiskey Juliet 3 United, KA1 Victor X-Ray Radio, and Whiskey 9 Uniform Sierra, and from the Netherlands, Papa Delta 1 Bravo, and Tango India 3 Alpha Tango Sierra is on from Costa Rica, Alpha Alpha 4 Hotel Victor, and great guests on today. Yes, I would say we have great guests on today. And Hotel Kilo 3 Whiskey, Colombia.
So, yep.
And Whiskey 8 Charlie Alpha Radio from Ohio. From Denmark, it's Oscar Zulu 4 Papa Alpha Tango and Kilo Papa 3 Victor. Kilo November 4 India Fox India. November 4 Juliet Tango Kilo. John is one of the horsepower guys behind Hamcation, and we're going to see you here in a few weeks, John. Tango India 2 Charlie, another Costa Rica. Whiskey 0 Alpha Norway Victor. And Sid says best of luck and get safe home. Kilo 3 Sierra X-Ray. And Jeff says thanks for sharing. This should be fun. Good job on the show. Kilo Bravo 8 Sierra X-Ray Kilo. And so Whiskey Juliet 3 United is going to get his SB220 amplifier all hooked up.
There you go.
You got some time. You got to prep the amps. And
you got to have an amplifier.
Yep,
if you're going to work through Bay, I mean, you guys are so far away.
Yes.
And Germany 6 Alpha Delta says big thumbs up for supporting this Dxpedition. Well, you know, we have all the faith in Otis and Dave and Adrian and Bill and all of the guys that are going out there. And we just want them to go out there, have a good time, and be safe and get back. And, you know, at DX Engineering, we also support many other Dxpeditions and other things within the hobby. Let's see, we've got Whiskey off Alpha 4 Mike Oscar Mike. Good luck. Good afternoon. And November 1 Hotel Victor X-Ray. And Echo Tango 3 Kilo Tango. Otis, we're working on a DXCC.
Yes.
And here's Adrian, Kilo Oscar 8 Sierra Charlie Alpha, another great member of the Bouvet team. And Adrian, your energy is great. He's working on the complex logistics of the 3Y0J team, and he's got himself a full-time job doing that. And speaking of other operators, here's Kilo Oscar 7 Sierra, Dr. Bill Straw. Very important member.
Yes.
You guys, right?
He's keeping us safe.
Yeah. So, we've got Victor 51 Juliet Papa, another good DXCC. Bouvet is well within the satellite footprint. Will you do some satellite operations? What do you know, Otis, on that?
Well, it's not contemplated at the moment. Our plan is to work 10 to 160. I could definitely take this suggestion. If you could send us an email through our website, and then we'll have a discussion, and then we'll see if we can make some magic happen.
And Otis, if people want to donate, how do they do that?
Yes, we need money. I'll be honest with you. I mean, we're making a plea here. We're over $100,000 short in our budget right now. We still got about 10 more months to collect. So you can go to our website, which I think Katie's going to put a link on it. It's www.3Yankee0Juliet.NovemberOscar. And then right on the main page, there should be a button there that says donate. And you can donate through PayPal. You can donate through a couple of the methods. So we're looking forward to support from individuals to be able to, to complete our budget so we can go and give everybody a new DXCC.
Yes, and on lots of bands.
Yes.
And modes. And so Dr. John is on. He says, thanks, Otis and Dave and DX Engineering. Even now, I'm going to keep my beams parked at 138 degrees. I'm not going to on a rotor.
Yes, that's smart. That's smart.
And John is a great guy, and he's very close by here to K3LR. And so, John, Kilo Bravo 3 Hotel. Great to have you on. And good friend Frankie, KE5KQL from Oklahoma City. And Dino says, is the 3Y0J team related to the 3Y0I group that I donated to a couple of years ago? You want to attack that, Otis?
Yes, and no, that was a complete different groups. There might be some overlap. I mean, they're really supportive of the information that we've gotten. But whenever the expeditions come along, it's, fresh start for donations and budgeting and accounting and all that stuff. So if you donated to them, you have not yet donated to us. So, but we really appreciated, your cooperation with us.
And Uncle Gunter is on, Delta Kilo 5 Oscar Norway Victor from the German frontier, and from Puerto Rico, Kilo Papa 4 Juliet Radio Sierra.
Yep.
And see, K9 Charlie Tango has a great 160 antenna they took on the last Dxpedition. That is a great antenna that K9CT took, but that antenna is way too big and heavy for what David's going to have to go through to get up on top of the where the Hilton is. So, David, we think you're doing the exact right thing with the ATK 65. And Bob the Traveler, this is WD8NVN, says, when I look at that sailboat, how can 13 operators sit on it and be comfortable?
Well, I'll tell you, it's not Norwegian Cruise Line ship. It's a Norwegian Dxpedition, but it's not Norwegian Cruise Line. So we'll be all right. I mean, the sailboat, it's used for Antarctic expeditions, as it is right now. It's in the southern hemisphere. But the thing is, it's you have to define what luxury is at these type of levels, and how it's not quite the Hilton, but it's not really like you're sleeping outside. But there is enough bunks, beds, so and there's living area. And the funny thing is, if you look at Maremma's ship at their website, they say that you'll be surprised at how much space you can fit in a 100-foot sailboat. So probably gonna have a lot of stuff hanging around, but we'll make it through.
You'll be okay.
We'll be all right. Yeah.
And from Italy, it's India November 3 Bravo Juliet Kilo. And let's see, we have Yankee Tango 3 Papa Lima is on. And from the spaceship, it's Rob, Mike 0 Kilo Papa Delta / Mobile, one of the best mobile signals you'll ever hear. Let's see, George, how can individuals donate? We covered that.
Yep.
And let's see, we've got Cat in the Hat, Joe, K0 November Echo Bravo. Looking forward to working. And as Bill points out, it's 3 Yankee 0 Juliet .November Oscar. That's the website to go to. And that's how you can donate to help. This is unbelievable. I mean, $650,000. But this is expensive because it's such a remote place.
Yep. It's very hard. And that covers essentially once we get on the ship and then once we get out. Everything besides that, all the operators have to go to the, where we depart. It's our own expense. And then we have to finance our way back. So we're not even counting that.
So you're out of pocket. Each operator, each of the 13 operators out of pocket's got to be at least $30,000.
Probably. Yep.
Well, you figure that it's probably close to that. I mean, also we have another expense of going to Oslo in the end of April, because we're gonna test hauling our equipment to shore with our Zodiacs that we purchased. Everybody's gonna get familiar with how to set the tents up and how the station's gonna go together. So I mean, there's an expense there, but we have to do that. I mean, we can't go there and not be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No, and that's great to go through a trial run, Dave. And you've been on so many of these Dxpeditions before in some really tough climates. And so that some bad things can happen if you're not prepared. We have Oscar Zulu 1 Delta Whiskey X-Ray on from Denmark. And from the UK, it's 2 Echo 0 Radio Echo Echo and Kilo Alpha 2 India Radio Quebec. Back to Italy, Kilo 4 Alpha Uniform Yankee. And from Northern Ireland, it's Germany, India 0, Charlie Whiskey Victor. And we've got Lima Bravo 1, Quebec, India, with the website on there.
Everyone, yep.
3 Yankee 0 Juliet November Oscar /funding. And Erwin, glad to have you on. Whiskey 9 Papa Juliet, Alpha Kilo 4 Alpha Mike, Lima Bravo 5 Germany, India from Norway as well. India Kilo 2 Echo Alpha Echo, and Whiskey 6 Oscar Delta. You guys are the super heroes of ham radio. Kilo Papa 4 Juliet Radio Sierra, Oscar Kilo 2 Papa Alpha Yankee from Germany, Delta 2 Charlie Whiskey. And Rob says, could I get my mobile station dropped on the island from the ship? Now, Rob's just kidding. And Rune is on. Lima Alpha 7 Tango Hotel Alpha, big part of the whole team. And let's see, we've got Dino says you'll be getting a donation from him. And Dino and his wife Toby are really great people. Dino is also a blogger.
Thanks, Dino. For
the DX Engineering blog on allbands.com. And we will be covering every step of the way of this Super Dxpedition on allbands.com. And David says, you guys really are the superheroes of ham radio. Bravo. And Kilo Echo 9 Bravo Victor. And Kilo Bravo 3 Hotel mentions John. He said the 3Y0I guys did refund via PayPal. And let's see. We got 2 Echo 0 X-Ray Bravo Tango on. And let's see here. We got Papa 5 Radio Tango. So Brazil checking in. And also Hotel Bravo 9 Delta Uniform Radio. And this is a lifetime challenge. So Dave, I know you've got a lot of things that you're preparing to do, and we really look forward to your expertise on 160 and 80 meters on the Dxpedition. And thanks for all you do to lead this.
Well, it's my pleasure. I mean, to me, it's a privilege to be able to go on one of these, and it's a lot of work. It's more than what people can really think about, but it's going to be so exciting, and to hear all these, seeing all the guys that are listening today, and a lot of those call signs are real familiar, and hopefully we're typing them in the log as we're operating from 3 Yankee. But I also wanted to ask, we're asking for people to help us and support us, and I understand that some radio clubs, they donate to maybe Northern California DX Foundation, and some of these clubs may not be able to donate to us as a club. But I want to reach out to the members of those clubs that to try to help us individually if you can. It's not necessarily a club thing all the time, but the individual support is huge, and we would appreciate that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Dave, for being on here today. And Otis, telling a great story. That's a beautiful slide deck.
Thank you. We'll be having fun, and we're going to be sending your greetings, working you guys from Bouvet in a couple months. So we're looking forward to it, Tim.
All right.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thanks, guys, for coming on. And at DX Engineering, we're very proud to support you, not only on this Dxpedition, but other very exclusive Dxpeditions that are going to great places and having fun with the best hobby in the world.
Yep.
Until Tuesday, 73 from DX Engineering and the 3Y0J team.
73.
73s.